Good morning, everyone, and I hope you're having a good day wherever you are in the world. It's just gone 8 o'clock a.m. China time, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and the Forex trading market opened 2 hours ago. And now Singapore has opened and Shanghai has opened. And let's see if we get any action with gold. Look over at the full view chart now so you can see that. And the first thing I'm looking at, we won't look at the candle, the first one. Got a quick move up right there, but what I wanted to show you was yesterday. This is yesterday's chart from the beginning of the day to the end of the day. And what's really interesting, yesterday somebody was asking me when it was going up during the Asian session, and it went up to this new all-time high, $5,111. Someone was asking me, did I think it would gap down or at least fill the gap? And that's exactly what it did, but it took 23 hours to do that. So this is the starting point for the day. This red line yesterday, Monday, went up and then across during the day and then came back exactly where it started the day. It closed the US session exactly where it started the day in the Asian session. So yes, we filled the gap. And now I'll get rid of that line. Move over here to today and see what's going on. Hey, good morning, Raj. Did you see what I just showed yesterday? Isn't that, and that happens a lot. It doesn't always happen in one day. Sometimes it takes several days, but when you get that big gap, the market doesn't really like gaps. So fill that gap in 23 hours. From the starting point of the day, it went right back to the end point of the day, same price. After going up $125 in the Asian session yesterday. Just an incredible move in the Asian session yesterday. So get rid of this red line. That was where our starting point and finishing point yesterday. Clean up the chart a little bit and see what we're looking at. And today we already have when 2 hours ago the trading started for the day with the Asian session, a big move up and then a big move down in 2 hours, right back to where it started. So we got starting off with kind of a horseshoe. What will gold do today? Yesterday was just full of surprises. New all-time high, $5,111. Never been that high ever in history. And then, as you can see, it came down during the Asian session in London, pretty much sideways. And then the US market was really sideways until about after midnight in Southeast Asia. This is after lunchtime in New York. And then it really fell down and closed that gap that we had. But that's way past my bedtime. So I wasn't doing any trading there. And I saw this sideways movement in the opening U.S. market, so I didn't take any trades there. But I did some good trades over here in the London session yesterday. This is called the first session, the Asian session is called the accumulation. Then the London session is called the manipulation. And then the New York session is called distribution. So in this manipulation, I did get a few good trades, just playing off of the bounces up and down between the uh, supply zone and the demand zone, all during the London session. That's all we saw. Get back over here to our Asia. Oh, it looks like we might be moving up today. A small pullback to 5,100. Okay, that's cool. I don't know what your entry price was because it only went to 5,111. So you got a small pullback to 5,100. Yeah, AMD. That's what we need to be aware of. That's what's going on. That's the big picture. That's the way the institutions, the central banks, the fund managers, that's what they do with the market. So this first candle came down, bounced off my trend line, and now moving back up. Let's see if that should break the trend line, the red trend line. That would be an indication to go long. And my stop loss would be about right here, 5012. And the entry would be right about here. Boy, there's so much different price between the opening of the candle and the close of the candle. It's a big stop loss. Wow. 5018, 18 up to about 300 pip stop loss. Wow. Doesn't look very inviting. But as we saw yesterday, we got this first candle here, and then it went up to 5,111. And that candle, if you entered there at 5054, that moved up 600 pips, almost 600 pips from here up to here. Wow. Making some big moves, gold, some huge moves. Looks like we're going to break my trend line here. Only 8 minutes gone in the first candle. Okay. Yeah, I like long too. Yeah, too much risk. I agree with you there. Got a few people coming in already. If you're new to following along on the live trading, let me know where you're watching from. Hello, Howard. I didn't take any trades last night in the U.S. session. because for my waking hours, it was mostly sideways. I was looking for maybe some kind of liquidity grab or something like that. I didn't see anything. Hey, Broda. So no, this right here is kind of my trading time. If I'm going to be doing anything in the U.S. session, right in here, and it was a lot of whipsaw, zigzag. So I didn't see any good trade setup. And then when it finally did start to do something, well, I'm already in bed. This big drop would have been a good one. If you're in the U.S. or in that time zone, then yeah, you could in the afternoon of the New York session, you could have got a good short trade. Oh, here we go. Getting some action here. Oh, Asia wants to buy. So let me just see what I can do here. Wow, look at that go. Going like a rocket. It's only 12 minutes in that first candle, and it's moved up 18. This is amazing. It's moved up 300 pips in 12 minutes. Unbelievable. That used to be all that it would move in a day. Now that's just nothing for gold. Let me look at my chart here and see what I can do. So if that breaks there, 5066. Wow. And my stop loss would be 5017. Wow. It's so bullish though. Looks like it might want to go to 5,200 today. Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. There is another type of strategy you can trade with this trend line strategy, but I don't use that. And I see that I could have done it today. And, normally this is a break above the trend line, and I'm looking for a long trade. But there is another way that you can look at it. And some people do trade it this way, and that's where you take a bounce from the trend line. I take the break of the trend line, but you can take a bounce from the trend line. That would have been a good one today. Take that bounce, but that means you're entering the trade before Singapore and Shanghai, and I really am not keen on that. This is just amazing what's going on here. So we're coming up to our first resistance level, which is 5082, and boy, it's just going like a rocket. I'm going to take a small trade, guys. I really reduced my lot size. And what was my stop loss there? 50. I believe I can put it at 5020. Okay. I went long right here and I put my stop loss at 5020 right down here. It's a big stop loss, but I reduced my lot size dramatically. Very small lot. Yeah, Howard likes to wait for the pullbacks. That's good. We know it will always pull back. It did over in the Asian session yesterday. Did you get a trade there yesterday, Howard? This is yesterday where we watched that dramatic move up. Then it did pull back considerable pullback there over a couple of hours before reaching that all-time high at 5111. Did you get in on that pullback yesterday, Howard? So what do we got here? 18 and 70. Yeah, 500 pip move on that first candle. Unbelievable. Just amazing. Now I'm in a loss, but that's okay. It's just pulling back. So you didn't get in on that first pullback. Okay. Well, it pulled back a lot during the New York session before the close. This was the closing price of the day right here at 49.87, and it's the same starting price for the day. Started right here and finished right here. Just one big gap was filled, but it took 23 hours to fill the gap, but it did finally fill it. So I didn't put my take profit yet. Let me do that. Um, what do we get in there? I'll put my take profit at the that psychological number 5100. Okay. Not a very good risk to reward ratio. In fact, it's a terrible risk to reward ratio. Find my tool here. Long position. I got in there, and my stop loss is down here at 5020. And boy, that's a terrible risk to reward ratio. Oh my God. Not even 1 to 1. I don't know if that was a good trade or not, guys. I'll be honest with you. just based on what I saw yesterday that, once the Asian market started moving, it never stopped. So I thought if I could get 30, 40, 50 pips in here, that would be something. Yeah, that's too late for you, Howard, to trade the. You might do the closing of the New York session, which would have been good. Yeah, Howard, I kind of agree with you there. FOMO, maybe a little bit on that trade. Just basing it on, what I saw yesterday. Gold is bullish on the day chart, the H4 chart, and we filled the gap. So likely that we will continue back to higher prices and test that psychological level again, 5,100. And based on what it did yesterday, it took off yesterday and I didn't get anything. This was the first candle here, and then it just went ballistic. Okay, we had the pullback, but even this right here, 57 up to 88, 300 pip move. But I didn't take that trade yesterday. So after seeing, a start bullish and then continuation bullish throughout the Asian session, yeah, I'm kind of basing it on that, which is not really a good thing to base your trade on. But again, guys, I'm just doing my live trading. I'm sharing with you what I do. I'm not suggesting or recommending you take the same trades. And yeah, an impulse move. You don't normally see that from me. I'm quite conservative with my trading, but I did dramatically reduce the lot size from what I normally trade. But I just share my strategy with you, share my trades with you. Most of my trades do go into profit. I had a good profitable day yesterday, but I am human. And you just saw the humanity come out in the trade that I took just now. Yeah, thanks. Thanks for that encouragement, Rise. I'm willing to take the risk, a small loss, no problem. In fact, let me reset this chart, and then we'll go over and just quickly look at the day chart, see what kind of candle we had formed there. If I can get all of this junk, I can't really see it very clearly there in the 4 hour. That's a little bit better. Yeah, big bullish and sideways, and then big bearish. So probably that day candle is a doji, I would think. Almost a doji yesterday. Go to the 1 hour. There's the 1 hour. Big 1 hour candle. And now it's just doing what it normally does. After a big move, then you're going to see some slowdown, some consolidation. Well, I don't know if I agree with you on that, Howard. I set my stop loss and I leave it where it is. The only time I will move it is if the trade goes into profit and then I can move it, I can follow. I can move it up above break even. And then if it continues in profit, trail it a little bit. I trail the stop loss manually, but I never move it lower. I never move the stop loss away from the trade and then start to accept a bigger loss. Never, never, never do that. But I know what you're saying. Sometimes you want to go with the flow. But if you're willing to, if you move it further away and you're willing to accept that additional risk, then that's up to you. And true, you can always get back in, but I have a rules-based strategy, and I always put my stop loss below this. Now this is my safety line, and I don't adjust it. So, Broda, you start with a generous stop loss and let it go. Okay. Well, after that huge 600 pip move, it's just put the brakes on. And of course it did that. It saw me take the trade. No, I'm just joking. The market doesn't care what I'm doing. The market is not fair. It's not unfair. It just moves. It just does what it does. Yeah, that's what I just did, Raj. If you want a bigger stop, I didn't want a bigger stop, but it was necessary according to my rules based strategy. So I had to size down. I reduced my lot size. I'm just going to grab a bottle of water, guys. Good to see we got a few people watching. Not as good as the session we had, I believe it was about a week ago, had a whole bunch of people in here. If you're new to following, be sure and let me know where you're watching from and be sure and subscribe to the channel and click like. That does help the algorithm and helps the channel, supports me. Appreciate that. Okay, coming this now we got the 8:30 candle, the third candle of the opening of Singapore and Shanghai. I'm going to get rid of this trend line there. That looks a little bit cleaner. So it broke above my trend line. I went long, and my stop loss is down here below my action line, the upward trend line. Okay. Needs to get a little bit more oomph. Oh, this is fun. Yesterday, I had some good trades in the London session. You can see over here, this is the London session. It was mostly sideways, and I was using the supply zone and demand zone on this range that we had here. So went short, came down here, went long, went short, went long, took about three trades in that supply and demand zone yesterday. I don't know if any of you guys use that or not. That's just a little bit different strategy. Nothing about the trend line. I have about three different strategies that I use. In the New York session, I look for liquidity grabs. That would be way down there, man. That would be wow. Coming down a little bit more now. Maybe going to bounce off the trend line again. Let's just see. You know, in this move up, it got pretty close to that first resistance line. So maybe that's all it's going to do. We'll see how it plays out. So yeah, silver. It's really gone pretty crazy. Hey, silver. Let's just jump over there and look at silver on the 15-minute chart. It's making a move up. This looks just like the gold chart. Looks exactly like the gold chart. Exactly. Well, almost. It's silver started here yesterday and finished over here, and now it's moving up. Just the same with gold. What did platinum do? Platinum. Oh, it fell down hard. Yes. And that's not going to work. That's a new high. New all-time high there. New all-time high for platinum. What is that? 30. Well, that's unbelievable. Metals are just going crazy, eh? And copper. Oh, what a mess. I'll fix that up later. Let's see what oil is doing. Still at $60. and Bitcoin making a little bit of a climb up. Okay, so we got so far another bounce off of the trend line. That second candle bounced off the trend line. The third candle bounced off the trend line. If this should reverse on me, I'll probably get out early, guys. I won't let this go all the way to that stop loss. It's too much of a risk. I'm willing to lose a little bit, but not a lot. Yeah, that's the thing about these things. Will When you're sleeping, they will make big moves, and you wake up and you go, "Wow, what happened?" Well, Raj, we'll just have to wait and see. It's okay so far, but if this should break this trend line here, and then looks like it has some momentum, I will probably go ahead and close the trade because this blue line here is the pivot point, and it's kind of like a magnet. So it could just decide they're going to come down here and then go back up, but still okay so far. Oh, here we go. I was just sending a message on Telegram, and when I came back to the chart, it's a big red candle. But maybe just a bounce. Oh, Okay, I've just adjusted my stop loss because I just don't want to accept a big trade on this. And it looks like I'm going to get stopped out. Yeah, this is not pretty at all. Yeah, there's always a but. No, I wouldn't be adding to this trade at all. Let me go over here to my MT5 and see what I'm looking at. Oh, really close to the. Oh, it almost hit the stop loss. Oh God, just a little bit more. Let's see what it's going to do. I zoom out on my MT5 and I can see how really close it is to the stop loss. I moved the stop loss to 5052. If anybody's curious, I had it way down there before, but I moved it. I moved it up. I don't mind taking a loss, but I don't want to have a big loss. Okay, okay. It's looking a little bit better. Yeah, that's okay, Raj. It's no big deal. Just now look for another trade setup. And as I said to you when I took the trade, guys, I told you what was going on with me. It wasn't it wasn't a great trade at all. A really bad risk to reward ratio and a huge stop loss here. Way below my this is my rules based strategy. And I have in the past. You've seen me before say, well, this is just too far away. And I did take the trade in the past, but a little bit of, as Howard said, a little bit of FOMO there, kind of basing it on how I saw the price action yesterday. So no, it wasn't a great trade at all. But I'm still, we're all with the bullish bias on gold. Gold is definitely bullish, and we're going to see higher prices today, I would expect. And we had this, come on, guys, we had this massive pullback already yesterday before the close of the Asian session, already closed below 5,000. So maybe now a run up to higher prices. And don't forget, guys, that the FOMC is tomorrow after midnight in Southeast Asia. That's 2 a.m. Thursday morning for me. That's 2 p.m. New York time on Wednesday, tomorrow. And that's big news. FOMC is huge for gold traders. Huge. So keep your eyes on that. Check forexfactory.com for your local time. Now we're coming back down. Still got a little bit of breathing room on my trade. Not much, but a little bit. Where did I put that? 5052.6. I could put it below that one. No, that's all I want. Okay. What's the 5 minute chart looking like? Yeah, this is just normal. After a big move up like that, you're going to get this kind of sideways consolidation. And my stop loss is right under that that previous candle right there. It just missed it by a couple of pips and then pulled back up. Anyway, I'm not going to move the stop loss anymore. That's the maximum loss I want to take on this trade. Was not an ideal trade, so I'll accept the loss and look for something in the London session, I believe. Stop loss at 5,000. Well, that's way down here. You do like a generous stop loss, eh, Broda? That is, there's 5,000 right there. And you are right now 600 pips away from your stop loss. Okay. Okay, Raj, that's cool. Re-enter the trade. What's it doing? I'm flipping between screens here. Well, it's doing something. It's not doing much. Go back to the 5 minute chart. Okay. Got that little one break below the trend line. That one break, and now it's getting a little bit more respectable. Okay. That's the 5 minute. Keep it on the 15 minute. In the London session yesterday, I was trading on the 1 minute chart and trading according to supply and demand in that range, that sideways movement that we had. And that was exciting. That was fun. I'm starting to like the 1 minute chart. I don't think I'll ever go down to the 15-second chart, though. In fact, I cannot do the 15-second chart. I did look at that yesterday. Raj was the one that suggested that. If I go over here, see this message I get, seconds, 15 seconds, and I get a message, yeah, I need to upgrade my plan. I cannot look at the second chart. I used to have the Premier plan, but a couple of months ago, I downgraded to the Essential plan because I didn't need the Premier plan, but I might upgrade again. Oh, you lost me for a second. I'm sorry about that. I didn't see that, but thanks for letting me know. I don't know if you saw what I was saying there. I tried to do the 15-second chart, but I need to upgrade my trading view plan to be able to get on the second chart. And I used to have the Premier plan, which allows you just about anything you can want to do. But I downgraded a couple of months ago because I didn't need all of that stuff. But I might upgrade again. I'll wait till they do a promotion. Once in a while, TradingView does a fantastic promotion. They give you like 70, 80% discount on Black Friday. And then another time earlier in the year, they do it again. Well, at least the candle is green. It's not doing anything, but at least it's green. So we kind of got a doji there. So what are we going to see on the hour at 9 o'clock my time? That's another 6 minutes from now. And remember, guys, sometimes we just see a complete reversal, 180-degree turnaround. I don't know if we'll see that today or not. This is a 1 hour chart. Sometimes it will just on the hour just turn around and go back to where it started. Okay, now go, baby. Oh goodness. As I said earlier, some people use this trend line strategy. They don't do the break of the trend line. What they do is the bounce. And so if you were trading the bounce of the trend line, this would have been an extremely good trade today. There's two ways you can play this trend line strategy, either the break or the bounce. Oh, gone again. Okay, I think you lost me again there for a little bit. Okay, guys, I'm going to have to bail out here on this live session. I have a webinar with a client in Chicago in 2 minutes, and so I'm going to have to shut down for that. Um, Thank you all for being here. I really appreciate it. It's been great chatting with you today. I hope you have a good trading session wherever you are. And of course, don't forget to like and share the video. I do appreciate that. It does help the channel a lot. So if you want to join me in the New York session, if you can, if you're not, asleep at 1:30 in the morning like Howard, okay, I will be here when Wall Street opens. That's 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time or 9:30 p.m. Indochina time. So thanks again, guys. I'll see you again next time.